My name is Brian Mathis, and I am the owner-operator of Chick-fil-a in the Villages, Florida. In 2013, I became the operator of Chick-fil-a in the Paddock Mall in Ocala, Florida. And then in 2018, I had the opportunity to take over this location in the Villages in November of 2018. So originally, when I was looking at what I wanted to do with my life, I originally wanted to be a marine biologist. But then I took chemistry in college and realized that was not the case for me. So kind of went back to, hey, what do I love? What do I enjoy? I've been working at Chick-fil-a since I was 15. So I said, hey, I might really enjoy making a career out of this. And so I started pursuing the steps for what I needed to do to become an operator because I love the company. I love the place that I worked and I love the people I was working with. So I really wanted to make a career out of that and get to do that for the rest of my life. So I've worked at Chick-fil-a since I was 15 years old. Worked from the ground up. So I started as a team member, only working on weekends, got to really experience kind of the whole journey moving up in the ranks. When I was looking at what I wanted to do with my life, Chick-fil-a was a natural selection for me. It was like, hey, I can love what I do, work for a company that loves its people and takes care of its people, and always have Sundays off. Big win for me. Chick-fil-a is special for me because of just what it stands for. It's not that we're anti anything, but we are just founded on biblical principles of doing what's right, serving, not just being someone who is here to crank people out, but we are serving our guests, we're interacting with them, and having a parent company that stands behind that and really believes in that is something you don't find anywhere else. And that's why Chick-fil-a just really stands out to me as such a special place to work and to be a part of. I think that people love Chick-fil-a so much because we're just different. Our food is of a higher quality than most fast food restaurants, but not just that, but we are consistent. So whether you visit a store in another state or as you're traveling down the highway, you know you're gonna get a clean, safe environment. You know you're gonna have a clean bathroom to use when you're on your road trips. You're also gonna have consistent food. So we all set very high standards. We make sure that we meet those. And so you're getting a consistent experience no matter where you go. And that sets us apart. We care about our people, we care about the team members that we have, and that really just puts us one step up over the competition for sure. So trying to decide which is more important, the food or the services, is really hard for Chick-fil-a because it's both for us. They're both so important. The service has to be great. When you come in, the experience that you have from the people standpoint is huge. If it's a bad experience, you're definitely not going to enjoy the food as much. But also, if the food is bad, the experience won't be as good and you won't think the same as highly for the people. And so you have to have both of them together and they both have to have high importance. You can't have one without the other. So when asked, are there other places that are doing chicken better than Chick-fil-a? And my short answer is no. There's nobody that has the whole package. They may be doing parts of it. They may have great service, but not as great of quality of chicken. They may have good chicken, but they don't have the quality of service. And so for me, no one quite does the whole package as good as we do. And that's the thing. Everyone is benchmarking from us. We're the top. Everyone wants to figure out what is Chick-fil-a doing? Why are they so successful? Why is their chicken so good? And so honestly, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. And there's a lot of people trying to imitate us right now and have sandwiches that are like ours or close to ours, but they're never quite ours. Do I ever think that Chick-fil-a will lose its hype? I think the level of hype, possibly. But that's something that we struggle with every year after year as we are climbing higher and higher and our metrics are higher and higher. We're going, hey, how can we make sure that the giant doesn't topple? Because everyone else is competing with us and they're looking at us and they're going, hey, how can we imitate what they're doing? McDonald's saying my pleasure, Zaxby's throwing out the outside order taker. They're trying things that we've already done. And so we have to innovate and we have to make sure that we're ahead of the curve and we're always one step ahead. And I think with the leadership we have right now, I think that we're gonna continue to stay right above everyone else. But the level of hype, even I question whether or not that'll last to that level forever. The most challenging part about being an operator is being a small business owner. It's the same thing that small business owners deal with day in and day out. It's am I gonna have enough people to run my restaurant? Am I gonna be able to hire the talent that I need? Am I gonna be able to find the right people that wanna work and can look at our values and mirror those to our guests? That's hard. The amount of responsibility that an operator has for the 100 lives that I employ And for the business and the thousands of guests that we interact with every day, that's a huge responsibility. And it's a big weight sometimes. There's so many numbers, there's so many details that I have to manage on, behind the scenes, but then not bring the weight of that with my guest interactions or with my employee interactions. And sometimes that's hard because as a business owner, you don't always make money. I mean, there's some months that the store doesn't perform the way you would think it would perform, especially when I was in the mall, a low volume mall, where I'm going, man, I really want to do more, but I can't. I got to make money. I have to be able to feed my family. And that's tough. And there's a lot of small businesses right now that are struggling with that. The most rewarding aspect of being an operator for me is just the impact that I get to have on my team members' lives, but also in my guests' lives. So getting to see the team members as they come to us as like 15 and 16-year-olds, they're shy, they're introverted, but getting to see them grow and become these great leaders that are heading off into college with their lives ahead of them, just really thriving. I love that we get to interact with our guests, that we get to know our guests, that we get to do life with them. That's huge for me. And I love that I'm able to use Chick-fil-A and our impact in the community as we give back. I get to use that as my ministry, just to share the love that I have for my community. That's just a vessel that I couldn't do without Chick-fil-A. So do I see myself doing this for the rest of my working career, being an operator? Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing that I could think of that would be as rewarding as it is to be a Chick-fil-A owner-operator. It's great because I get to walk into work and it's not all the same. It's not the monotonous number crunching every day. It's some days I get to be a plumber and I get to fix a sink. Other days I get to be a counselor and I get to help a guest or help a team member of what they're going through. Is so fulfilling for me. I've thought about it when things got a little rough, especially when I was in the mall. I wondered, what could I possibly do? And I never came up with an answer that I felt like could fulfill me as much as being a Chick-fil-A owner-operator does. So yeah, I'll be here till I retire, Lord willing.